Welcome to Betrayal Affairs. In today's video, it began with the softest sound, so faint it could have been nothing at all. A click, subtle and almost apologetic, as the patio latch slipped out of place. I don't know why I heard it. The world is full of small noises, hundreds in a minute, most of them swallowed by thought or overlooked entirely. But that one slipped straight through me, lodging itself in some quiet, instinctive place I didn't know was still listening. Before I could turn toward it, before my mind could decide whether the sound belonged to the wind or an intruder, his hand was there, covering my mouth. Not harsh, not panicked, but with a steadiness that was its own kind of disarming. There was no shaking in his touch, no fumbling in his fingers. This was not an accident. It wasn't even spontaneous. It felt rehearsed, imagined before it was real. His palm was warm, faintly rough, carrying the smell of cedar soap and something metallic, like the lingering trace of tools. His breath drifted across my ear, slow, deliberate, and wordless. It didn't need words. Above us, the porch light flickered once, twice, then surrendered to the night entirely. The sudden dark felt heavy, like the air had thickened. From the open window upstairs came the slow, uneven rhythm of Matt's snoring. My husband's voice in sleep, soft, low, and distant. It should have been an anchor, a rope pulling me back to where I belonged. Instead, it felt like a reminder that I was already drifting. Jake didn't speak. He guided me, subtle pressure, a shift of weight, down the back steps. The wood groaned under us, each creak carrying farther than I wanted it to. The night pressed close, cool against my skin, the smell of grass and soil rising to meet me. My socks soaked through instantly on the lawn, the dampness clinging to my toes. The fence met my back before I realized we were moving toward it. Its wood was coarse, pressing through the thin cotton of my pajamas. I could feel the grain against my spine, smell the sun that had baked into it during the day. Somewhere off to the side, the bug zapper hummed, a sound Jake had cursed every summer when helping with the yard. Tonight, he didn't seem to hear it. His hand hovered near the waistband of my pajamas, not touching, not yet, just waiting. It was a question without sound. I could have stepped away. I could have lowered my gaze and folded back into myself. Instead, I lifted my chin, because to look down would have been to admit I'd already given up the decision. He stepped closer. The space between us disappeared, filled with warmth and the slow, deliberate pace of something that didn't need to be rushed. My knees shifted slightly, almost involuntarily, the movement answering a question I hadn't been asked aloud. The night swallowed the small sound that escaped me. A memory intruded years ago, him sitting at my kitchen table, fumbling a pen as I signed his permission slip for a school trip. The thanks he'd given me, awkward and quiet, his voice still uncertain with youth. Tonight, there was none of that uncertainty. His gaze was steady now, unshaken, holding something that felt both new and inevitable. The fence shifted under our combined weight, groaning in protest. Behind the shed, a garden trowel slipped and clattered to the ground. I pictured it lying there, metal teeth biting into dirt, abandoned in the same way I'd abandoned caution. His lips found the hollow at the base of my neck, a place I had never thought of as significant until now. In that moment, it felt like he'd found the one part of me no one had ever noticed. The thought of dishes in the sink flickered across my mind. The bills still pinned to the fridge. The vows I had spoken 19 summers ago. None of them pulled me back. His thumb traced along my ribs. "You can stop me," he murmured, not a challenge, not even a request. Just a truth. "I know," I said. And I did. But I didn't stop him. My hands stayed where they were. My body answered before my conscience could form words. Betrayal doesn't always come like a storm. It doesn't always announce itself with thunder. Sometimes it slips in like this, quiet, patient, and deliberate, living in the space between breaths. Morning brought light into the kitchen, brushing soft gold across the counter still dusted with flour from days ago. Steam curled from my coffee. It was for me, not for Matt. Upstairs, the sound of a razor scraped in steady strokes. My sleeve slid back as I reached for the mug, revealing the faint mark on my wrist. Not violent. Not accidental. Deliberate. Oppressed in memory. I pulled my sleeve back down. Most mornings, I would read the news. Today, my phone stayed face down on the table. My gaze drifted to the old, empty thread with Jake. No messages. There never needed to be. Matt came downstairs, papers in hand, his lips brushing my hair absently. The corner of the paper scratched my cheek more than the kiss touched me. He asked about the electric bill. I said yes. Our marriage had become a series of checkboxes. Safe. Predictable. Hollow. He didn't notice when I placed my coffee on the very edge of the counter, daring it to fall. Outside, the lawn chair from last night was tipped over. I picked it up, but left it facing the gate. I didn't know if it was an invitation or a confession. Maybe both. By afternoon, I was folding towels that still carried the faint scent of grass. With each fold, my mind slipped back to last night, Jake's breath, the press of him in the dark, and the terrifying truth of wanting something forbidden. The garage air was heavy when I stepped inside later, stacking paint cans in the corner. The door opened without warning. Jake walked in, a box in his hands. Left something, he said. But we both knew that wasn't why he was here. His eyes scanned me, not searching, just waiting. My sleeve slipped again, and his gaze dropped. He didn't reach for me. Not yet. I pulled the fabric down slowly. Too slowly. He stepped closer, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. His fingers were rough from years of work, but gentle now. The hammer slipped from the hook above me. He caught it midair. His hand brushed my hip when he steadied me. I can't, I whispered. You already have, he said. The silence between us was thick, almost visible. He turned on the faucet, the cold water spilling over our hands as his fingers brushed mine. I didn't just want last night, he said. I've wanted every quiet second you didn't know you were giving me. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. I raised you to be gentle, I said. And I still am, he replied. But you stopped needing gentle. You needed someone to see you again. He leaned in, close enough to feel the exchange of breath. I turned my face, but not my body. Above us, the light flickered. My eyes dropped to an oil stain on the floor shaped like a heart. I'd never seen it before. I'm not powerless, I murmured. Neither am I, he said. But only one of us believed it. When Matt came home with groceries, I was already back in the kitchen, tidying the gloves I'd worn in the garden. Still dirty. Still marked. I told him we needed milk when he asked if I wanted anything else. The safe answer. Outside, I heard Jake's car across the street. Engine low, headlights off. Just waiting. I stepped outside. We didn't speak. My hand rested on the car door handle, unmoving. You don't have to, he said, voice barely above the sound of rain starting to fall. I know, I replied. But I didn't walk away. Because betrayal doesn't always scream. Sometimes it waits. Sometimes it's the door left half closed, the gloves left dirty side up. Sometimes it's the choice you make twice, knowing exactly where it leads.